our next presenter and Miss Elmira Sharbafi, and she is from the Gorgan University of Agricultural Science and Natural Resources. And she will be talking about the human-wildlife conflict in the mountain areas. Over to you, Miss Elmira.
Hello.
Yeah.
How can I share?
Yeah, if you go to the bottom, if you open your presentation on your this thing, computer,
okay.
You go to share screen at the bottom of your screen. You see an icon of share screen.
Sure.
Yeah, if you click it, and then it will show you your window where your presentation is open. And you just click that. Yes, we can see your screen, but we can't hear you. Yeah, Elmira, you need to unmute yourself. I will see if I can do that.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you and we can see your screen. Over to you, please.
Okay. Hello, my name is Elmira Sharbafi, and I am very happy to be here to present my presentation about human wildlife conflict in mountainous areas of Iran. First of all, I want to start with an overview about the country. Iran is located in southwest of Asia, in arid part of the world, and with population around 85 million individuals. Despite of the false common belief that Iran is covered by a desert, in fact, Iran is a mountainous country with a highland plateau. Mean elevation is more than 1,400 meters above the sea level, and more than half of this country covered by mountains. There are 5 main mountain chains, such as Alborz, Zagros, and a lot of high peaks with more than 4,000 meters. Iran is located in the intersection of 3 phytogeographical regions, Hyrcanian, Iran-Turani, and Sahara-Sandy, that would result in diverse habitat and species. In this picture, you can see oak forest in Zagros Mountain, or you can see Hyrcanian part of Iran in north slope of Alborz Mountain. Iran is home of various cultural ethics and indigenous people that their livelihood depends on mountain. Therefore, increasing proximity of human and wildlife prompts interaction between human and carnivore, which name conflict. Human-wildlife conflict is a situation when people lose their properties to wildlife by, for example, like by crop damage. For example, you can see in these pictures bite of bomber on ankles or claws of bomber on beef pies. And if the situation increases due to expanding human dominance or hunting wild prey, or a livestock depredation, and sometimes threats to human safety. Mostly, look at they try to kill problem animals in retaliation. In the case they face to neglection by conservation authorities for compensation. Therefore, managing this problem is necessary in order for coexistence human and carnivores. And in this regard, considering rule of different related stakeholders is necessary. Therefore, we define 2 objectives characterize current scientific literature on human to large carnivores. relating to four items: temporal and geographical distribution, ecology, social actors, and management actions. And the third one, general recommendation for improved human-carnivore conflict mitigation in Iran. We use systematic review, including search on Persian and English publication, with emphasis on three large carnivores: Persian leopard, gray wolf, and Syrian brown bird, through using some word combination like human carnivore conflict, human carnivore plus livestock depredation, and so on. And we identified four items: research, temporal and geographical distribution, ecology, social actors, and management actions. The result have showed the upward trend of publication from 2010 to 2021. And most of the publications have done on Persian leopard as endangered species. I have to mention that none of the publications were about ecology part of the human-wildlife conflict in Iran. The largest proportion of the studies were conducted in Alborz and in Zagros Mountains, especially in protected areas, as one of conservation categories in Iran. As you can see, 51% of papers mention damage to human food, like crop raiding or damage to beehives, and damage to human properties mentioned only 5%. Local actors were the most frequently mentioned social actor types, particularly herders and the farmers. And from 36 articles in Iran, only 13 ones were mentioned environmental managers as non-local actors. And non-lethal and educational programs were the most mentioned management actions to alleviate human-carnivore conflicts, while lethal actions were less frequently mentioned. And finally, as I told you, increased human-wildlife conflict shows the raising attention toward the importance of this charismatic species conflict in order to increase tolerance toward the species. Governments, tourists, and the public and general public are less mentioned between actors. Despite many studies suggested the importance of engaging all social actors in decision making to achieve coexistence and tolerance toward carnivores. Non-lethal and participatory planning are the most reported strategies to mitigate conflict. However, the effectiveness of different management practices have been poorly addressed in the studies. In the situation that different publications around the world emphasize on this method, on these actions as a successful strategy for fostering coexistence. Between the publication, only two of them were applied these methods. One of them used leopard collar that have showed for cattle that have showed successful free grazing in habitats. And another one determined using the local husbandry methods is not efficient and effective to decrease the attack of large carnivores to livestock. And they have recommended using trained dogs in proximity with livestock to create bond with them and aggregate small flocks into larger ones and available shepherd and herd the livestock together. Most of the studies were done in protected areas, in situation that more than 30% of the suitable habitats of the species are out of officially protected areas. Therefore, the necessity of the studies on mitigation conflict out of protected area is obvious. And the last one, list studies focus on behavior and psychological aspects. That is, recommend using socio-cultural and conservation psychological characteristic studies to find root cause of this of human behavior toward the species. That I want to do this item in my PhD thesis. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Ms. Elmira. That was a very quick and a very crisp presentation. Thank you for showing us the